I mean, fall camp is here. What's the mood like? Or are you kind of glad to be back at it? And how excited are you for the next month?
We're all very excited to be back. We're finally back on the grass. We get to compete with our brothers every single day. We're having fun. We're having fun. We're enjoying it.
A lot of new faces over there. A lot of them came in the spring. But what are you seeing from those guys? How big of an impact can they make?
A big impact. All of them came in with a chip on their shoulder. They all came in with very intentional with their reps. In meetings, outside on the field, even off the field, everybody's been intentional. And that's what I love about everybody who came in, and it's going to be a good one.
What tell us about young Kris? What can he add to the group? And I mean, how quickly has he gotten up to speed with what y'all want to do?
Kris has he's improved a lot since he's been here. Every day he comes in, puts his head down, he's grind off season, in season. He's always finding a way to get better. He brings a lot of excitement to the team, and he want to knock somebody's head off. That's Kris. So yeah.
With some of the depth y'all have in that room, has he had to kind of wait his turn? And have you seen that patience kind of pay off?
Most definitely. Kris is a patient type of guy. He's waiting his turn. He's, like I said, he's coming in every single day. He's doing what he's asked. He's doing what he's supposed to do. And his time going to come, so I'm very excited for him.
I guess just you personally, what kind of things did you need to work on from last year? Where do you feel like you still can improve?
I can improve a lot of areas. Nobody's perfect. I can get better a slot man. I can improve my tackling. I can improve my hands. I can improve my football IQ. So like I said, it's a lot that I can get better at, and I'm just taking 1% better, getting better each and every day.
With the heights that the offense reached last year and where y'all as a defense were last year, do you feel any pressure heading in this year to make sure the defense takes that step that y'all want to?
I don't feel any pressure at all. I know what this team is capable of, especially on the defense side of the ball. Like I said, we put in work every single day. I've seen an improvement that we've made from last season going to the spring ball, now heading to fall camp. It's been a huge improvement, so I'm very excited. It's going to be a good one.
Keaton's one of the new guys from last year. What did you see from him? And I mean, obviously had a big breakout year. What do you see from him on that defense?
I see him being more vocal. He's being more vocal. With D-line and us, the nickel. He's just being who Keaton is. Everybody knows who Keaton is. He's a great dude. He loves football and he loves competing. So I'm glad he's on our team.
With Devin Turner out for the year, how has Tyler kind of stepped in, and what's he like to play with?
He came in. He's ready. He got the opportunity. He's taking advantage of it. So I'm glad to play aside of him. He's a great addition to the safety room, and he's going to be able to make a lot of plays. I can tell you that right now.
I know he's the cornerbacks coach and your safety, but what has Paul Gonzalez kind of brought to the secondary as a coach?
He brought a lot of knowledge, experience. He knows what he's talking about. He wants to win, and that's what we need as a coach, somebody who wants to win. He pushes the corners every single day, and I've seen improvement from them as well. And like I said, I keep saying this, but I truly believe it's going to be a good one. It's going to be a good one.
Kendrick, I guess just kind of what's the mood? How do you feel right now? I guess this is day 3, first time in the pads. What was it like out there today?
I feel great. To put the pads back on, it's always good to start. Day 1 was good, but when them pads come on for a defensive play, it's always a good time. So I feel great. The energy was great today from both sides.
What about the carryover, I guess, from last year, but also from the spring? How much carryover do y'all have, going into the fall?
We have a lot of carryover, but it's also a lot of new. Not trying to be the same old, doing the same old stuff, but also adding new and just being multiple. So it's a lot of new. So I'll say 50-50 old, 50-50 new.
You're playing a star more a lot, right? Like, I guess, what's the depth like at that position? And, I mean, maybe aside from yourself and probably Carl, who else do you expect to step up at star?
First of all, our whole safety room is a lot of depth, but nickel room is definitely a lot of depth. Besides me and Carl, we got DJ. DJ moved to that position. We got Bo. He's a younger guy, but we got some other guys mixing in that area in our sub packages. So we're really deep in our whole room, and especially our nickels.
Where can y'all take a big jump this year defensively?
I think defensively we could take a big jump, just turnovers, attacking the ball, interceptions, forced fumbles, however the ball comes. I think that's how we can improve majorly.
Second year with Aranda calling plays and stuff. Will that make a difference? Just, him maybe being more comfortable with it, that kind of thing?
It definitely will make a difference. Him being more comfortable, us being more comfortable, us knowing what he likes, him knowing like who he has. So I feel like it's been great Coming into year 2, everybody's more comfortable. Everybody knowing each other and knowing what to expect.
Does the defense feel pressure at all to improve on last year's numbers?
The defense definitely, it's a lot of pressure. Even if we had a good year last year, it would have still been pressure. But more so, like we got to step it up. This gonna be our biggest year. We want to win a championship, so this is definitely on our back.
What's it like? What's it been like for you? How is this year 2 now in the system? What's it been like?
It's been well. Like I feel like I'm understanding like all the plays more and just getting a feel of the game and just being more comfortable on the field. When I got here, I was kind of less comfortable, like just trying to get acclimated to what's going on in the field, the speed of the game. But I feel like my coach and my teammates, they kind of helped me.
All that experience that's in the safeties room, what have you learned most from guys like Devyn and Simpkins and all that?
Like what I think I learned most is just how to be a pro. Like I watch these guys every day, just like how they go about their business and stuff like that. So I just I look at those guys and then I just follow in those footsteps.
The team was considerably better last year. The defense, maybe wasn't great. How can y'all improve? What are y'all's kind of goals for this year, I guess?
Our goals this year is just to get more turnovers and just make more plays on the ball and just show it on film.
Do you have any personal goals? I know obviously when Devyn goes down, maybe there's some more snaps in there for you. Like, do you have anything that you personally want to accomplish this year?
Just personally, like when I get on the field, I just want to I want to play hard and I want to just show like hard work I didn't put in all summer. I just want to get in there and show it on film.
What was kind of your mantra for the summer? Like, how would you kind of sum up the way you pushed yourself through the summer to get better?
I think all my life I just always pushed myself. So this summer wasn't like no different. It's just being in the system for like my first year, I kind of understood what to work on and the things I needed to get better at as a player. But like, yeah, I knew what to do and I went out there and worked hard.
Tyler, I guess just kind of coming out of the spring, what's the feeling? How do you feel about the defense and that kind of thing? Fitting in with it.
Yeah, I feel great fitting in with it. I mean, I got some experience in these types of defenses of running these coverages and stuff like that. It's been a journey getting them down and learning them all, and the word association and all that. But it's been a good journey, and so I feel like it's all coming together really well.
Obviously, with Devyn Turner going down, do you feel ready and confident that you can kind of step up and step in?
Absolutely. I mean, yeah, this is my 3rd year going into college football, and so I mean, I've practiced against great players, and I've been prepared for many situations thus far in my career, and so I feel I've got every tool in my toolkit needed to go out there and succeed on Saturdays.
How much of with all the experience that has been around Baylor for a little bit in that safeties room, how much did you learn from them in addition to your coaches?
Yeah, I mean, I learned a great deal. I mean, Devyn Bobby, Jalen Petrie came around one practice, and just gaining everything I can from them, and just guys that have been here. It's been great and it's been really helpful. Alongside with what I'm learning from the coaches and everything like that.
What would you say that the strengths of your game are, and then how do you plan to make those shine out when you get out the field?
Yeah, I think my strength, one of my strengths is probably my man coverage. I think I'm good in man coverage. I got good hips. I think football knowledge. I think just knowing what's going to come next and knowing what's going to happen, and kind of anticipation a little bit. I feel like that's in my toolkit, and just things like that. Just being knowledgeable about football and knowing what's going to go on.
We may have asked you about it in the spring, but was there any carryover with, or did you have any relationship with Bow?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Okay, tell me a little bit about that and kind of, good to be back with him, I guess.
Yeah, it was cool. I committed to Baylor in high school. Then he went over to Oregon, and so I, went over there with him, signed, and then he left and came back here right on the bowl game. And so, I was over there for 2 years. But yeah, it's been good to get back with him. Just kind of, he's always been in contact with my mom. He kind of was my first offer in high school, and so it's always been kind of a special kind of connection with Coach Powledge, kind of as a mentor. And so, it's been good to get back and finally get coached by him and, have a big, build a closer connection with him.
Is there a comfortability with that just because you kind of know him, the system?
Yeah, I kind of know, who he is as a person, his family and where he comes from, his story and his background. And so, I kind of know what to expect from him and know how to, go about my relationship with him.
I know you weren't here last year. Does the safeties room and the DBs room talk about last year, or is it more forward facing? What are the conversations like?
I'd say it's more forward facing. And if it last season does come into mention, it's just being better and anything that we can make better from then and carry it over to now. That's kind of all that's brought up, but it's a lot more forward facing and just being the best that we can be every day, being 1% better.
How big is that to have a guy like Keaton Thomas back? Just being kind of the anchor for that defense.
Yeah, I mean it's great. He's an unbelievable competitor. He's probably one of the highest motor guys I've seen in my life. So it's good to have a leader like him and a guy that's going to play hard. You know what you're getting out of Keaton every day, and so it's really good to have play alongside a guy like that.
Does his energy, I don't know, does it like spread throughout the entire defense?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we all can. If you're ever down or tired or feeling like you want to jog this rep or do anything, just look at KT and he's going 110% every play, and so it's like, all right, well, can't take this play off, or what I'm saying. So it's every play is like that, and so it's just he's a real elevates the room, so.
For the guys that have been around here for a couple years and specifically played in that 3 and 9 year a couple years ago, they bring that up as a tool for themselves a lot. How often do they kind of share that with you and use that to kind of bring the whole team along and push it all?
Not too often. I mean, like I said, it's kind of more forward facing, just trying to be 1% better every day. Just like I said, taking things from those not very good seasons and just using them to build on, what we're trying to build this season. And so I'd say that's about it, yeah.